Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm going to be telling you how you can read more while being a student. Now, I am a sophomore in college, and it's been chaotic for me. But it's September, and I'm on my 11th book of the month, as I have been doing so much homework from the mornings till like 9 o'clock at night. I have no idea how I'm really keeping the reading going as well as I am, but the ideas that I do have, I am going to express to you today. What can you do so you can read more when you are just dead with homework? When you have homework that is literally murdering you. Like, you have so much, it is making your posture bad. It's making you fall to the ground. You know, like, your workload is horrible. I have been there. I am there. I am there right now. But I really love reading. It's my favorite hobby, and I also make videos about reading. Subscribe, like the video. So I have like 7 tips and things that you can try to do to hopefully help your reading keep going. And I know that these are probably things that you may have already heard before. It's just personal things that have really helped me. The first tip I have is to really get a planner. So like just a daily schedule planner, and use that to divide your workload of homework throughout the week evenly. I try to do it during the 5 days of the work week. Try not to do homework on weekends. I try to get it all done during those 5 days, but sometimes I do have to do it on the weekend because I'm trying to evenly put it everywhere so I can actually have time during nighttime or morning time, whichever time you are wanting to fit reading in. It's the way to go, because if you don't plan out your days, and you don't have to do this by times or anything, but make sure you have a to-do list every single day so you can check off things as you go. You know what you have to do, and if you end up not being able to complete everything, you know you can push it over to another day. This is working especially right now with me because I'm doing online classes because, you know, Corona has kind of made that happen with my college, and I don't really have very many classes that I need to be there for a specific time. Most of my work is stuff that I have to figure out what times to do throughout the week. This helps with your reading because I try to make sure I get whatever I planned during that day done right when I first wake up. I eat breakfast, then I get started on the homework, shower if I need to, and then once I'm done with that, I can read for the rest of the night. I'm not saying I literally finish my homework and then read for the rest of the night and go to bed. Like, I'll watch YouTube and do other things that mentally make me feel better after a long day of homework. So my second tip is for when you have a lot of readings for actual school, whether that be novels or just random articles that they have assigned you, to get through those so that you can actually read the books you want to read. I highly recommend seeing if you can find an audiobook for the reading they assigned. Now, this is probably easiest for novels and things like that. And if you're wondering how do you get audiobooks, you can actually get audiobooks for free if you have a library card. And I know not every single area in the world is going to have a great library system. This might not apply to everybody, and I'm really sorry about that. I guess it just depends on like what library you have in your area, but if you do have a library in your area, they might be connected to certain apps like Overdrive, Hoopla, or Libby, and all of those apps, you can connect your library card to them, and with that they have ebooks and audiobooks that you can download for free. And you can check and see if some of your readings for school is on there, so you can actually get through the material faster, because you can actually increase the speed of the book, and that actually helps you get through the work faster. And if you're one of those people that are like, oh, I really don't like audiobooks, it's hard to focus, if there's a way for you to have a physical copy of the book as well, I recommend doing that. Have the physical copy and then have the audiobook at an increased speed time, and then stare at it, and it literally helps you go through the page so much faster, at least personally for me. Tip number 3 is also having to do with audiobooks. So audiobooks that you actually are wanting to read for entertainment. Once again, I recommend those apps. It really helps me read a lot more throughout the month because I can put an audiobook on in the background when I'm cleaning my room for the day, or when I'm working out for the day, or doing whatever I am that's like a physical task that I wouldn't normally be able to open a book and read for. Once again, I know some people don't like audiobooks, but if you haven't really tried them that much, I highly recommend trying them because they really can help you read read more. And I know there's an argument saying that's not real reading. It's actually scientifically proven that the comprehension levels between listening to a book and seeing the words and reading the book is the same. So the argument is invalid. It is the same reading. And also, if you're saying that, you're freaking ableist, because some people are blind and that's the only way that they can read a book. So you're being a bitch is what I'm saying. Tip number 4 is one that has helped me out so much, and I feel like not a lot of people do it. When you're actually physically reading a book, I highly recommend tracing your finger with every single line. And this might sound super simple and it might sound like it does nothing, but it genuinely increases my reading speed. I get through pages a lot faster, and I don't always do this. Sometimes I literally don't feel like dragging my finger across things, but if I'm actively trying to read something faster, and this goes for anything, I always put my finger on the word because it centers my focus and I can see what I'm doing. I feel like my focus can get messed up sometimes when I'm just reading like this. I don't have anything drawing my attention there. I feel like sometimes I look at the wrong line and then I waste a few seconds trying to find it again, and I just feel like this is such a time saver that a lot of people don't think about. It can help you for skim reading. I do not skim read, sometimes for school stuff, but entertainment wise, I like to read slower because I feel like I really soak things in. But other times, if I'm in like a slower scene or just anything, I'm wanting to read books quicker, I'm doing a readathon, anything like that, just trace it. Trust me, it works for me at least. It might work for you. Tip number 5 is when you find yourself doing something like maybe going down a 5-hour long YouTube haul at the end of the day, maybe don't do that. Maybe an hour of YouTube time can be good. Maybe 30 minutes of YouTube time. Maybe not 5 hours. I've done that so often. I have wasted so many hours of my life watching random ass YouTube videos. I don't even watch booktube videos. I watch random ass stupid videos that give me nothing. And though I do have fun with them sometimes, so that's why I think it's important to have that time to watch stupid things sometimes. But if you have been watching some YouTube for 5 hours, maybe you should be like, oh, maybe I should go pick up a book. Because sometimes I struggle to get the motivation to actually pick up the book and start it. But once I'm into the book, once I have gotten like maybe 50 pages in, I'm like invested and I actually am really excited to keep reading. Tip number 6 is something that I don't personally do, but I know a lot of people do it, so I'm definitely going to add it to this list, is to actually schedule a certain time of day that you read, whether that be 6 to 7 o'clock at night, whether that be 5 in the morning to 6 in the morning, whatever time that you could actually physically, mentally put in your head that is your reading time, that is for you, do it. Honestly, I like to read at night. It gets me more tired. When you're on a screen all night, actually, Macy, what is it? Oh my! I just dropped my dog. She just did like a freaking front flip into my arms. I'm so sorry. Macy says hi. She says, y'all can do it. Y'all can do college and read. I promise. She hates me. Oh my god. I really like to read at night because it's better to be reading something and not on a screen. Bright screens have been scientifically proven to make it harder to fall asleep and to stay asleep longer. I'm not saying I don't do that like literally constantly, because I do, but it's just a recommendation that if you could read at night, like right before bed, that's your entertainment source right before you fall asleep. It actually might benefit you in the long run, and you can actually maybe fall asleep a little bit faster or sleep longer. In this list, I'm not saying don't get sleep. I think sleep's really important. At least like 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night is what I try to go for. If I am so exhausted by the end of the day of doing so much homework, all I can do is lay down. And I try to take naps. That's another good tip. Maybe an hour nap if you have time for it right after your homework. And then once you do that, you're a little bit more energized to maybe actually read, because I feel like sometimes I'll be so exhausted after a long period of homework that I just can't even think about reading. Like, how am I gonna mentally have that energy? And then I go to things like Netflix or YouTube instead, because it takes less energy to do those things. And my final tip, tip number 7, this one is more about if you are specifically trying to read a certain number of books in a month. I used to do this. I would calculate how many pages I would read every single day in a book. So here's an example. The book I'm currently reading, I would tab out how many pages pages of it I needed to read in a day. I would physically see it. I would put a sticky tab on these pages so I would know what page to get to that night. And it ended up being a little bit stressful, so I don't really do that very often anymore. I mostly do that for readathons when I'm really trying to meet a goal. But if you want to do that, it used to work really well for me because I would plan out books to read in 3 days or 4 days or sometimes 2 days if it was a shorter book. It became more of a schedule. Like, I made sure I was doing it. But, you know, that also could be a thing that could take the fun out of it. But, you know, some people like competitions. You could have a competition with yourself. So those are my tips and encouragements for today. I really am feeling for all the people like me who are struggling with so much work. I really think it's really bad this semester. Being completely online is something that sounds great, and I do love being at my house, but it's something that I think the professors or teachers, whatever like schooling you're in right now, they don't realize how much work they're giving us. I fully believe that. I don't think they realize how time consuming the things that they're giving us is, and it's ending up like ruining our lives. School is my life right now, and I freaking hate that. And I hate that for all the people that I've been seeing in my comments saying that it's just so much and they're so stressed. I know it can cause mental breakdowns. I have been having that problem, and sometimes you just need to breathe and take one task at a time. And you know, if you don't get through everything, figure out which assignments in the week that you can skip. Like, if it comes to that, figure out what reading you could, you know, keep a good grade without reading. You know, sometimes that has to happen. I do that sometimes. I really hope this helps somebody. I haven't even watched other people's tip videos, so I probably sound like a broken record compared to those, but I didn't even want to watch them because I wanted to make my own ideas. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like it, comment down below, have a good day, please subscribe, make sure to follow all my social medias which are linked down below, and go click the bell button which is right by the subscribe button which you should already clicked, and goodbye.